Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich, has reportedly visited Kiev this week to help in Russia-Ukraine peace talks. Meanwhile, things are picking up in the sale of one of his largest assets, Chelsea FC. Josh Schafer is here with more. Josh, so who are the finalists here first and foremost?
Yeah, Brad, so there's a couple finalists. So we have Roman Abramovich, who's selling Chelsea FC. Forbes values that at about $3.2 billion. And it's narrowed down to probably three groups now. And so diving into those bids and some interesting company tie-ins here, starting with Todd Boehly. He's best known for his role as a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers ownership group and as the co-founder and chairman and CEO of Eldridge Industries. Eldridge led financing for a $100 million funding round in DraftKings back in 2017, among several other investments. Forbes estimates his net worth at $4.5 billion. Then there's Sir Martin Broughton. He's the former chairman of International Airlines Group, the parent company of British Airways, and was a chairman of Liverpool FC. His group includes some big names as well. As you can see here, the list includes Alejandro Santo Domingo, a billionaire on the board of Anheuser-Busch, Josh Harris, co-founder of Apollo Global Management, as well as David Blitzer. Blitzer and Harris both own the Devils and the 76ers. And then the final bid that's reported to be in the running is led by Stephen Paliuca, the co-chairman of Bain Capital and part owner of the Boston Celtics. This bid comes with some heavy hitters as well, including Bob Iger, the former CEO of Disney, NBA chairman Larry Tannenbaum, Facebook co-founder Eduardo Severin, as well as an early Facebook investor and billionaire Jim Breyer. Now, the process has been moving pretty quickly, and reports pin a sale coming in the next few weeks because, get this, two of these bidders, Josh Harris and Todd Boehly, might be buying the Denver Broncos too, guys, and that might be happening in May, so they got to speed this up, I guess.
No better place to put your money if you're worth billions than a sports team. First on Chelsea, this is still overseen by the UK government because this money could stay with the UK government as of right now.
Yeah, so the money could pretty much stay with the UK government. It'd be put into holding, and then we'd wait and see what happens with it. I think this is really the best example of what we're going to see from the Russian oligarchs' assets, right? We've talked about those assets. We're following those assets. Well, here's a great public example of what's going to happen to Roman Abramovich's asset.
Additionally here, the Denver Broncos side of this whole equation, how much of this and the potential sale and the price tag is about how they can potentially win right now? They've taken on Russell Wilson, huge acquisition in the offseason. How does that also drive the price tag higher?
Oh, it's got to drive the price tag higher. The price tag's probably about $4 billion right now. Might be the biggest American sale we've ever seen for an American sports team. And like you said, they got Russell Wilson. So I'd personally buy the Denver Broncos if I have a chance to win a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense. It'll be fun to watch that bidding for sure.
Definitely.
Rochelle?
I will say that any sort of disarray that affects Chelsea, good news for me as an Arsenal fan. We're much further down in the standings than Chelsea are. But obviously, this is a beloved team. This is actually my mother's team, Chelsea FC. So it'll be interesting to see, especially when we see so much crossover in these sports leagues. As you mentioned, there's some of these NBA owners, even Bob Iger here, making his move after Disney. So it'll be very interesting to see who ends up with this winning bid. And as you mentioned, that very tight deadline that they have as well.
Rochelle, I had a question for you from the English perspective. When you look at the English Premier League, there's been some backlash before when we see these American groups come in and buy English soccer teams. How do you think that'd be received? I'm pretty sure you're a fan of a team that's owned by an American group, right? Do you think that'd be received well from the Chelsea group or no?
Well, it's the interesting thing. I mean, football culture in England, soccer culture, as you call it, obviously over here, it's very much a localized thing. But I think if they feel like the spirit is still being respected, I think they would appreciate it. And we do still see a lot of crossover because Chelsea and Arsenal are actually going to be having a friendly match in Orlando. So we do still see some of this crossover. So I think as long as the changes aren't too dramatic, I do think people will welcome it. And, football is football. As long as the match is played and people have a good time, I think, no one wants to see Chelsea fall apart from me. I still would like to see the matches go on.
I'm just waiting for some decentralized autonomous organization to enter the chat and really make things interesting and toss around some cryptocurrency weight.